In a previous video, we discussed the 7 best things to do after a workout, and while these post-workout practices can help you build muscles faster, there are also some post-workout habits that may be slowing your progress or sabotaging your ability to build muscles. In essence, these habits, which have become almost instinctual and ingrained in your post-workout routine, may be hindering your efforts in the gym and ultimately killing your ability to reach your fitness goals. With that said, let's take a look at 7 of the worst things you can do after a workout and what to do instead. Heading straight home. We've all been there. You finish the last set of curls, clean up the equipment you were using, and head out the door, but cooling down from a workout requires a cool-down period, where you're lowering your heart rate and calming your nervous system to shift into the recovery phase. An article from the Mayo Clinic states that cooling down after a workout allows for a gradual recovery of pre-exercise heart rate and blood pressure. They also claim that cooling down may be most important for competitive endurance athletes as it helps regulate blood flow. Instead of heading straight home, we recommend stretching and mobilizing the areas you just trained. Not only does it help improve mobility, but it also helps get the blood flowing, speeding up the recovery process. Skipping protein. Skipping protein can be a mistake. Pre-workout protein supplements are all the rage, but when it comes to post-workout recovery, protein is crucial. Much research shows that meal timing isn't as impactful as we once believed. In fact, the consensus on the post-workout anabolic window has shifted from one extreme to the other. Before, we believed that skipping the post-workout shake would result in extreme muscle loss. Now, we scoff at anyone who comes near a shaker after training. However, consuming protein after a workout can be essential for progress, especially if you're training fasted. A study published in Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise found that protein intake after fasting training improved recovery. Another study published in Frontiers in Nutrition investigated the effects of protein supplementation on the performance and recovery of endurance athletes. They found that a prudent approach would be to have athletes consume protein post-workout. Thus, hitting your daily protein goals is more important than consuming protein during the post-workout window. Post-workout protein isn't just an opportunity to get more protein in your diet, but it can also improve recovery. Heading to the drive-thru. Ever felt tempted to hit the drive-thru right after a workout? Well, think again. Not only does fast food contain large amounts of salt, preservatives, and additives that can disrupt your efforts for a healthier lifestyle, but it's also high in unhealthy saturated fats. Limiting fat intake after a workout is a good idea as fats slow down the digestion of food, which can delay the delivery of protein and glucose to your muscles. Optimal glycogen resynthesis requires an adequate amount of carbohydrates and proteins to maximize muscle protein synthesis. However, it's important to minimize the intake of foods high in saturated fat and sodium, especially after a workout, to optimize recovery. Opportunity to set the recovery wheels in motion in fast food is a surefire way to derail that train. Instead, aim to consume 40 to 80 grams of carbohydrates and 20 to 30 grams of protein, keeping fat intake to a minimum. Forget this number 4, forget it as it was once dictated. If we don't pay attention to history, we'll be doomed to repeat it. The same can be said for our workouts. If we just train and then move on to the next workout, when will we learn from each one? How will we know if we should do more, do less, or take a completely different approach? Or how do we know to replace or remove certain exercises? So many lifters, for example, will continue to bench press with shoulder pain, yet instead of addressing the issue or switching to a less painful exercise, they simply lower the load to ease the pain or worse, fight through the pain hoping the discomfort will simply disappear. That's why I recommend you write things down while you train and take some time after a workout to review what happened, as well as what didn't happen, and determine if anything needs to change before you train those muscle groups again. You'll also get a better idea of how you're progressing. Remember, what's measured is managed. Number 5. We've all had tough workouts. Maybe your dead legs have crawled out of the gym and then you've fantasized about lying in bed. After all, you need a Netflix break after such a grueling workout, right? Wrong. Resting after a hard workout will only result in increased grip discomfort and accumulated lactic acid. It may seem intuitive to rest and relax, but our bodies need circulation, movement, and activity to thrive and recover. Active rest is a term we're all familiar with, yet it's vastly underestimated. A 2018 study published in Frontiers in Physiology concluded that active recovery sessions after a workout reduced the accumulation of lactic acid in the muscles, increase blood flow to the muscle tissue, remove metabolic waste, and reduce muscle tears and pain. Another study evaluated 2 active recovery methods and found that activity involving the same muscles used in relative workouts significantly reduced fatigue, along with increased circulation, which can help remove waste from muscle cells, reducing fatigue, improving an individual's sense of well-being, and affecting long-term motivation. Also, using the example from before, after a tough day, you may incorporate some lower body mobility. Exercise activity doesn't need to be a deeply involved process. Something as simple as walking, biking with intensity, or even doing yoga is enough. Alcohol. Number 6. Take a cold one. Alcohol of any kind will dehydrate muscle cells, especially muscle cells that are starving for glycogen and protein for recovery. Not only that, but studies show that alcohol increases cortisol levels while decreasing plasma testosterone amino acids and rates of muscle protein synthesis. Besides avoiding alcohol after training, you'll want to make sure you're hydrated. After a hard workout, we lose a significant amount of fluid, some of which we can visibly see, and some simply evaporate from our skin. Even slightly, dehydration can significantly affect our performance and recovery. Make sure to keep fluids coming in during and after the workout. Having your protein shake is a good way to kick off the process. Also, since 1 gram of carbohydrate attracts 3 grams of water, you'll need to make sure water is coming in to help those thirsty muscle cells process carbohydrates and any other supplements you're taking, like creatine. Stay awake. Number 7. Stay awake. We live in a technological world where waking up and going to bed staring at our screens robs us of quality sleep and can be detrimental to our progress both inside and outside the gym. Sleep is one of the most important aspects of recovery and is responsible for optimal functioning of everything from cognitive clarity to physical effort. Sleep deprivation and poor sleep quality may be what's preventing you from making bigger gains in the gym. In research published in Auckland, New Zealand, it was found that sleep deprivation led lifters to become exhausted much more quickly. In other words, sets seemed harder, and they couldn't do as many repetitions. This is likely due to glucose metabolism deficiency. Basically, if you can't break down glucose in your body because you're not sleeping enough, your body won't be able to properly utilize its own fuel to perform. Not only that, another study, published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, found that just 1 week of sleep restriction reduced testosterone levels by 10 to 15% during the day. So, if you're serious about optimizing your efforts in the gym and facilitating your recovery as much as possible, you'll need to take your sleep schedule seriously. Start by creating a nighttime routine. Try setting a time at least an hour before bed where you put away your phone, tablet, or laptop. This is to ensure that you limit your eyes and brain from the blue light that can prevent you from delving into rejuvenating sleep. Then, set a time to wake up every day and work backward to establish when you need to go to bed. Don't forget to schedule yourself for at least 8 hours or more. This will give you a little buffer in case you don't fall asleep immediately. Keep this schedule as strict as possible. It may take a few days to adjust, but it's a small price to pay for the long-term benefits of high-quality sleep. To recap, cool down after the workout with mobility work or some active recovery. Take notes and track your workout to ensure you're on the right track. Try to get a good amount of protein and carbohydrates within an hour after the workout and keep fats to a minimum. Stay hydrated and try to get at least 7 hours of deep, high-quality sleep every night. Remember, the faster you recover from your training, the sooner you'll see results from it. If you found this video helpful, please click the like button below as it really helps the channel.